Hello everyone. The topic which we'll be covering today is arc welding. So in my hand you can see, so this is a welding electrode which is used to produce the arc which is used for welding, and here this is the workstation. So let's have a look at the workstation. So this is the place where we'll be performing the arc welding operation. So in my hand is this welding electrode, and this is the electrode holder which will be used to hold the electrode, and this is our work table, and this is the workpiece which will be welding. This work table is connected to the power source, and this electrode holder is also connected to the power source. So this is the power unit which is used to provide the necessary current used for the welding purpose. It can provide AC and DC current as per the requirement. Normally the voltage which we use is between 80 to 200 volt. So before we start any welding, there are some safety precautions which we need to follow. While performing welding, always we need to cover our face with a face guard. In the hand we need to wear gloves, and while welding we should never touch the workpiece with our hand. Always there is hammer and wire brush to clean the material. So these are the safety precautions which we need to follow before performing any welding. So face guard should be there, gloves should always be there. So this is how we perform the actual arc welding operation. The electrode rod is brought near to the workpiece. So when the electrode rod and the power work table both are connected to the power supply, so an electric current is passed through the complete circle. So due to the passage of electric current, an arc is produced. So due to the heat generated, the metal gets melted and get joined with each other. So this is the basic principle of arc welding. So you can see the the electrode is brought near to the metal surface. So due to the arc, metal is melting and welding is done. So always you should follow safety. Face guard should be there. Gloves should be there. So you can see we are performing a welding in a straight line. So this you can see you have performed welding in a straight line. So to clean it, we'll use a hammer and a wire brush. Never touch it with your hand. So this is the wire brush which will be used to clean the joint after the welding has been performed. So never you should touch it with your own hand. Always use the wire brush and the hammer. So this is the arc which was produced due to the passage of electric current. So like I said, this work table is connected to power source. This electrode holder is connected to power source. We'll put the electrode inside this, bring it near to the workpiece. Due to the passage of electric current, current will pass through it and heat will be generated. Due to the heat, the metal will melt and it get welded to each other. So this is the basic principle.
Shielded metal arc welding. Shielded metal arc welding is also referred to as stick welding or manual metal arc welding, in short, MMAW, in which an arc is struck between the flux-coated consumable electrode and the base metal to start the welding process. It is the most common type of welding process seen in any job shop industry. Working principle. In this process, the heat required to melt the consumable electrode and form a bond with the base metal is produced by an electric arc struck between the electrode and the workpiece. The shielding for the weld pool is provided by the flux, some of which is deposited on the layer of the weld in the form of slag, which is removed upon cooling. The choice of electrode depends upon the base equipment or components of shielded metal arc welding. Power supply. Transformer. Most commonly, welding transformer, a DC rectifier, or a DC generator is used. Electrode holder. Electrode. Ground clamps. Working. First, the power adjustments are made on the transformer. The welding can be carried out by either using direct current electrode positive, DCEP, or direct current electrode negative, DCEN, connection. DCEN. In DCEN, the electrode is connected to the negative terminal and the workpiece is connected to the positive terminal. The electrons thus travel from the negative terminal to the positive terminal. That is, from the electrode to the workpiece. Since there is a sufficient potential difference between the electrode and the workpiece, therefore the electrons from the electrode accelerate and strike the workpiece surface at a very high velocity. Upon striking, the kinetic energy of the electrons is converted into heat or thermal energy, thus an immense amount of heat is generated at the workpiece surface. About 66% of the arc heat is generated on the surface of the workpiece, and the rest of the heat is generated at the electrode surface. This melts the base metal quickly, thus resulting in deeper penetration. However, the deposition rate of the filler metal reduces due to less heat generation at the electrode surface. DCEP. In this polarity configuration, the electrode is connected to the positive terminal and the workpiece is connected to the negative terminal. And hence the flow of electrons is from the workpiece to the electrode. A major amount of arc heat is generated at the surface of the electrode and less heat is generated at the workpiece surface, thus resulting in a higher filler deposition rate and insufficient fusion between the workpiece and filler metal. However, when the electrons flow from the workpiece, the dirt and oxide layer is disrupted, also known as arc leaning action, thus helping in producing a quality weld bead. After setting the necessary current and voltage parameter, an arc is struck by slightly touching the workpiece with the electrode and carrying forward or backward. Once the arc is struck, the heat generated melts the electrode and base metal, and the filler metal gets deposited on the base metal. The electrode should be held at a lower angle to the workpiece to initiate an arc and to carry on the welding process, but if the electrode is held perpendicular to the workpiece, then it is likely that the tip of the electrode may stick to the workpiece and fuse, causing it to heat up rapidly. The flux then converted into a shielding gas surrounding the weld pool, protecting it from oxygen and other atmospheric contaminations. Some of the flux gets settled on the weld puddle in the form of the slag. Once the welding is completed and the weld bead is cooled down, the slag is chipped off using the chipping hammer and cleaned using a wire brush. Shielded metal arc welding can be used to weld in all positions. That is, flat, horizontal, vertical, and overhead.
In this media, you will learn about the edge preparation and weld joints. Edge preparation is nothing but the shaping of edges of both workpieces to be welded. The most common edge preparations are given here: square edge, bevel edge, double bevel edge, chamfer edge, J-groove edge, and double J-groove edge. Square edge is used for welding plates of thickness from 3 to 5 mm. Bevel edge and chamfer edge are used for plates of thickness from 8 to 16 mm. Double bevel edge is used for plates of thickness from 16 to 20 mm. Single and double J-groove edges are used for plates of thickness more than 20 mm. Square edge workpieces are placed about 3 mm apart from each other. For the workpieces of double bevel edge and double J-groove edge, welding is done on both sides of the workpieces. Edge preparation of the weld pieces depends on the strength requirements and other design considerations. There are 5 basic joints in common use of welding metals. They are butt joint, lap joint, T-joint, corner joint, and edge joint. A butt joint is formed when the workpieces are laid side by side, and it is one of the most widely used types of joint. A T-joint is formed when one workpiece is placed vertically or another piece lying horizontally to form the shape of an inverted T. The vertical workpiece is usually placed at 90 degrees to the horizontal workpiece. Fillet weld is one of the most widely used types of weld applied to a T-joint. When a single pass or multiple pass welds are done against the joint, the weld resembles a triangle when viewed from the side. A lap joint is formed when one workpiece is laid down and another piece is overlapped to form an edge for fillet welding. Lap joint is mostly used when welding thinner sections. A corner joint is formed by placing one workpiece on the other at 90 degrees so that a corner is formed. It is used for welding boxes, tanks and frames. In an edge joint, edges of two or more members lying in the same plane are joined. Edge joint is used for welding thin plates which are not subjected to heavy loads. Weld joints of workpieces having different shapes of edges are shown here. Now you have learnt about the edge preparation and weld joints.